With Henry Ruggs exiting stage left, there's rumors flying to who should replace him, OBJ or D-Jax. Let's argue. Stay tuned after the intro.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
This is Raiders Allegiance with Lunatic Raider. Welcome to the dark side.
What is the deal, Raider Nation? Welcome to another episode of Raiders Allegiance with yours truly, Lunatic Raider. Today we're going to discuss this New York Giant game that we got coming up this Sunday on the East Coast. I know we've been through a lot of ups and downs and turmoil and tragedy over the past 2-3 weeks, but the team as a whole, they know they have a game coming up. They got a game Sunday versus the Giants, and this is the game that we need. To hell with a trap game. We don't need to let our guards down against the Giants. The Giants gave weak ass Kansas City all they could handle till the end of the game, where Kansas City pulled that one out, but Giants wasn't going nowhere. They wasn't going to allow themselves to just get punked like that. So I don't expect them to do that this Sunday as well. So it's on us to execute our offense, be aggressive on defense, keep the quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket, move him around, bring the edge rushers, keep the defensive tackles rushing him up front to keep him from, because he has a tendency to run. He can run in Jones. So our defensive tackles, our defensive ends got to contain them. Let our safeties and our corners go ahead and do their stuff on the back end, and let's create some turnovers, some fumbles, some interceptions, some great hits, some shortages on third and long, that kind of stuff. That's what we need. We need to be aggressive, and like I always say, they got to play like assholes. Be aggressive. Put the quarterback on his ass whenever you can. Make him have to get that big ass up off the ground and go through it all over again. Give him a Groundhog Day that he'll never forget, where it just keeps happening over and over again of him getting put on his ass. So that's what our front got to do. Linebackers, do your thing. If you got to drop back in coverage against the tight ends, do it. The running backs, Saquon Barkley might come back this Sunday, but there's a lot of players that were out, some with COVID, some with injuries. I gotta wait and see. When I see the final injury report for both teams, I can let you know exactly who's out, who's probable, who's a scratch, everything. But I have to wait and see who's going to participate in practice and who's not. So with that being said, we all know the tragedy that happened this earlier this week with Henry Ruggs. The Raiders have released him. He's no longer with the team. Corresponding moves, the Raiders have brought up Stoner from the practice squad to the 53-man roster. Marcel Aitman, a name that a lot of us are familiar with, being with the organization at wide receiver, a nice tall wide receiver, a good target. He has been signed to the practice squad. There's been rumors flying of what the Raiders should do with his open spot. We had 2 open spots, one from Willie Snead because he asked to be released, and we granted him that. And I think that's the spot that we brought Stoner up from the practice squad to fill. Now we have Henry Ruggs' spot. And as I was saying about the rumors, people are wondering what the Raiders should do with that open spot. Some people think, which we did with Stoner, bring him up off the practice squad. Then you also had, there was an idea that I floated out there. I like to think out the box. I thought about, what if you were to put Darren Waller at the number 1 receiver spot alongside Edwards, and then bring Foster Moreau in to start at tight end to take Waller's tight end spot. Foster is a hell of a blocker. We've seen him make plays against Philadelphia. So we know Foster has a beast in him. Now, if you can work this out where you put Waller at the number 1 receiver spot, can you imagine having Waller, Foster Moreau, Edwards, In your slot would be Renfro. Then you got Drake and Josh Jacobs, Zay Jones. Hey, Carr's been doing this all season. There's not just one receiver that he just has to get 100 yards and plus out of. Last week, you figure he's getting over 300 yards a game, close between 400. And he is using all of his weapons. They're getting like 50 yards and 30 yards and 40 yards. And it's just an accumulation of all these yards that goes in his stat book of yards thrown. And you see him damn near touching 400 every game. And it's like, wow. But Carr's utilizing his weapons. He's going to whatever the team that we're playing, whatever their defense is giving us, he's taking it. It could be a little dink, a dunk, in the flats. He takes his chances downfield with the long ball. You have them back shoulder fades along the sideline on both sides. He's utilizing this, bringing his running backs out of the flats, hitting them and let them doing their thing. Renfro, he always finds the soft pocket inside the defense and sits in it, and then Carr sees him, and especially on third downs. His route running is so immaculate. When it comes to Renfro, man, you gotta mention this dude's name as one of the good or one of the best slots playing right now today in this league. So yeah, man, that's just aspects of the game that we're trying to figure out as far as what do the Raiders do next. That's what we have to worry about. What do we do next? And now with the rumors, you read media on Twitter and on Facebook, and you getting Bleacher Report, and you getting all kind of this info of what the Raiders should do or who's a good fit for the Raiders. There's 2 wide receivers that has been mentioned in the media as far as potential suitors, the Raiders, for these 2 wide receivers. And those wide receivers are Deshaun Jackson, who asked for a release from the Rams, and they released him. And as of today, he cleared waivers, making him a free agent to sign with any team that has interest and that he has interest in. So that's one option, is Deshaun Jackson. The second option is there's rumors flying that OBJ and Mayfield in Cleveland is bumping heads. I don't think they're going to play OBJ again. They're talking about benching him. He wants out. I know that's the issue, but his camp is saying that he just wants to play ball, and he's saying the right stuff. But Cleveland might not want him there, so they might want him out. So there's a potential of Cleveland releasing OBJ and making him a free agent as well if he clears waivers. So there's 2 options, 2 names that's been attached to the Raiders as far as good fits for the Raiders. Are they? I don't know. But this is where we come to the next segment that I call Let's Argue. So let's argue. All right, everybody. Now we know about Deshaun Jackson and OBJ. We have 2 outstanding wide receivers. The differences is, check out their stats. The age difference, you got Deshaun Jackson, 34 years old, long in the tooth, 5'10", still has some speed with him. You know what I mean? Can't knock the man for all that he's done in his career. He's one of those type of receivers that takes the top off of defenses, such as what Ruggs was doing as a member of the Raiders. So D-Jax definitely could be a piece that the Raiders could be interested in to fill in that void that we have at that wide receiver position, to take that speed to take off the top of defenses, to open up the field, to let all the weapons that Carr has, let them do their thing. So even though Ruggs may not have a heck of a season so far, he still had a purpose. He still played a part that allowed everybody else to eat. OBJ, on the other hand, him with Cleveland, if they release him and he clears waivers, that's a potential too. Another 5'10" guy, 195, so he's a little bit more stout than Deshaun Jackson, probably about 20 pounds. But the age difference is he'll be 29 on the 5th of this month. D-Jax is 34. So you figure you're looking at about a 5-year difference. But Deshaun will be 35 on December 1st. So it's coming up. So he'll be 35. And then you figure OBJ will be 29. So you're looking at a 6-year difference. So OBJ is 6 years younger than Deshaun. And but they both are damn good receivers. A lot of people think OBJ is washed up, but I think it has more to do with the quarterback than it does with his ability. Because when he had a good quarterback with Eli Manning in New York, I mean, you talk about somebody that was rookie of the year, Pro Bowler, did all that. You know what I mean? Under a good quarterback. Mayfield, he's not really consistent to me. He's not one of those. He's a good quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback. He's just, I don't know. I can't really put a finger on it as far as how I would say or describe what Mayfield would be ranked as in the quarterback position. But yeah, I think if OBJ had a better quarterback, his production rate and level will guarantee you go up. I mean, just imagine OBJ in our offense. You know what I mean? As balanced as it is. He can come in and just kill it. But Deshaun Jackson as well. Now the thing is, when you go sign somebody like this as a free agent, what is your logic of thinking? Is it just for this season to see what we do? Do you have plans on maybe bringing them back? Or do you have other plans like that's just a stopgap to finish out the season due to the circumstances of Henry Ruggs getting into the situation he's in? So I don't know if it's like long term or short term with either one of these receivers that you might potentially sign if both of them are available, but they both can and will serve a purpose if the Raiders do decide to sign either one of them. So I think it's only going to be one of them that's going to be signed. As far as the let me see. Let's check. I want to check out these stats on both Deshaun and OBJ for what they have done this season so far. And I'll give you a good comparison of what's going on with these two dudes. So as far as Deshaun Jackson goes, he's played 7 games this season, no starts. He has 8 catches with 221 yards, but his yard average is 27.6 yards a catch. You know what I mean? He had 2 big catches for the Rams this season, but like I just stated, he played in all 7 games, but started none of them. So they're not utilizing him, and that's one of the reasons why he asked for his release, because he doesn't feel like he's being used. He wants to play. See, when a player gets that long in the tooth and in that age, they know their season, or not season, but their career is, he's got one foot in the grave, to sort of say, when it comes to his career. It's not going to last forever. It could last a few more years, depends on how he takes care of himself and his production, but Deshaun Jackson, no starts at all. Now, when you look at OBJ this year for Cleveland, he's played in 6 games with 6 starts. He has 17 receptions for 232 yards, and he's averaging per catch 13.6 yards reception. So their production, starting wise, you got OBJ, who started 6 and played 6, and Deshaun Jackson, who played 7 and started none. But the yardage is Deshaun got 8 catches for 221 yards. OBJ took 17 catches for 232 yards. There's big plays in Deshaun Jackson from looking at his stats. That's big playmaking. He's to average 27.6 yards a catch on only 8 catches. He had to have some big catches on there. He had to. And it shows that he only had 1 touchdown, and OBJ had none. So, man, I say Deshaun Jackson would be the better fit between the two. So what do you guys think? Leave me a message in the comments. Let me know, who do you think? Do you think it should be Deshaun Jackson, or do you think it should be OBJ to fill that last spot that we have on the 53-man roster to fill out our team and finish off the rest of the season? What do you say? Or do you let someone come in that's already been on the team on the bench, like a Zay Jones or a Stoner, and let them go ahead and maybe that one spot? I don't know if it's been done, but can you do it by committee? Can you throw different receivers in at that spot depending on the play calling and who you're facing? I don't know. I'm just throwing information out there. Maybe you guys got a better idea or a better solution. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. Man, let me know what you guys think. Should we go after D-Jax, or should we go after OBJ to fill that last spot? And will it help our team get to the playoffs and win playoff games? That's all that needs to be said. That's all that needs to be done. Yeah. Before you guys leave, though, can you do me a big solid? Please subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell so you can be notified of all the content I drop. And go ahead and share this. Man, we're one nation. Can't nobody fade us, man. We just do it different. You know what I mean? So I'm Lunatic Raider. You've been watching Raiders Allegiance. I'm out.